Hello guys, so we're gonna be doing this breakdown of these pairs for the coming week. So particularly I'm gonna go through these three USD pairs, particularly being Euro USD, GBP USD, gold, and majorly just UJ. I'm still waiting to see some things on pound JPY and Euro JPY, but it is what it is. So on the case of the pound USD, so this is the 4-hour chart. Now we can just go um, on the daily. So basically we've been bullish on this ever since these breaks right here. We've been bullish on pound USD, and we're eyeing at this area here, which is of course the monthly area of supply, where at least I'm expecting to see either price tapping into here and then drop off to take out and clear this low, or simply just break through and keep going bullish, because we're expecting some very long-term weakness on the dollar in the long run. However, I will reach to talk about that in a minute. So basically we've been bullish on GU, and we're still bullish right now. As you can see, price is clearly taking out highs and making higher highs until this recent break right here. So we recently had so I can just clear these. So we recently had this break here, this break of structure right here, from which price displays to the top side, leaving out this high that formed this low, which formed the new higher high. And of course our overall expectation was that price was gonna do some kind of pullback for the mitigation, right? And once the mitigation was done, then price could easily displace to the top side, and this high in particular is our next liquidity run. So we're always targeting highs. Now however, that area of demand, right, which we were looking for price to hit, is particularly this one. And why is this the area, right? So just following on the concepts of mitigation, so if we just follow mitigation, we can see that every S&D zone behind here had already been mitigated, right? So we had this little guy here that this wick came in, mitigated, and then left. And then we had this little guy in here that this wick came in, mitigated, and left. So particularly we had no imbalances. We also had no unmitigated S&D zones behind here. And with that being said, price only left us with this area of demand here, which had imbalance, which it had imbalances above it, right? So there we have it. So there it is. So this is the area of imbalance that we had, and price has now come to fill this imbalance, and the mitigation of that S&D zone is particularly over, right? So this in particular is the area that we were looking for potential mitigation, and this actually here, right? So if I can just zoom in, so this is the main area that we're looking for price to come in, tap, and leave. So there we have the tap of this S&D zone. So basically all you can for further confirmation, all you can wait for, since we had a low that formed a high, right? A low, a low high, and then a low. So it's pretty much it's pretty much still in this mitigationary trend, this internal structure, right? So you can wait for the realignment, right? Realignment of this internal structure with the exterior structure, right? So the order flow structure should shift towards the market structure, which is bullish. So you could probably anticipate the break of this high, and once the break of this high is done, then you can probably wait off and enter off the pullback that will be made, and then you can now look to target the highs, of course, towards this overall high up here. So basically everything is pretty much completed apart from the confirmation, of course. So we're just waiting for the realignment of the interior structure towards the exterior market structure, right? So basically we already now have ourselves a bearish leg, and we're just waiting for the bullish leg to be completed, and this high to get taken out, and the mitigation of this overall area of supply. So we're looking at a very good bullish ride. So this is particularly about so we have ourselves about a 450 pips ride towards the top side, which is very much amazing. you can yeah, if you're consistent and following on this pair for the next week, I believe we can have some very good opportunities towards the top side on this pair. However, we can now just go to the next pair, which is the Euro US dollar, and we're still anticipating the same thing, right? So in terms of Euro USD, right, so I can just show you something from like the 6 months. Oops, sorry, I was gonna reset this chart view. I can just cancel this. Yeah. So on the Euro USD now, as you can see, this pair, we're looking at a very bullish market, and everything is pretty much showing itself from this market structure that we have for ourselves on this time frame. Now notice that this is a very high time frame. Of course, we're not going to trade this time frame, but you know, I myself, I'm basically a day trader, so I like to work with the 4 hour and the 15 minutes most of the time. But that doesn't mean that I don't look at the what can I call this, right? So the bigger picture of price, right? So in the bigger picture of price, we're looking at a very bullish market. So like, you know, if we just follow this, we had a high, and then we had a low, right? We had a high, right? Price came down, formed a high low, broke off once again, formed a high. And what price did, it was basically doing the mitigation of this area here in particular, right? So this area here in particular. Now notice I did send this analysis in the team like months before, ever since price was at this area here, price made a pullback, and all this blah right here. So you know, like I said, we're looking at a very bullish market, and you know, from this perspective, what do you think our next move is, right? So on the long view, right, on the bigger picture of price, we're looking to take out this high right here. So we're, like I said, we're looking at a very bullish market, and this is like it's almost a 5,000 pips towards the top side, which is pretty much amazing. This is, you know, wow, this is actually huge. So you know, we'll be very bullish on Euro USD for the next couple of years. Yeah, with that being said, so okay, we can just roll back now to the daily and then start sorting some things out. Okay, so coming on the daily now, as you can see, so we had been very bearish previously during this pullback trend, but at this point right here, at this break, that's when we realigned now into that bullish structure in accordance with the 6 month chart. And since then, you know, price has been just putting in no highs and no highs and no highs. So this right here is our latest break. So you know, I can just go ahead and remove these, and let's put in a more professional drawing, right? So right here, so this is when we had this recent break. I can just term that as break of structure, right? So with this recent break, right, so price had formed a high, made that pullback, formed a low, and then made that continuation to the top side, forming this high here as the new high. Now at this moment in time, right, so price could either, right, so since we have a very good area of demand right here, so I'm gonna take this as an overall area of demand, right, as an overall area of demand right here, this guy here. So you know, either price could probably just end up here, right, and then realign bullish to take out this high and put in a much smaller range of price that we can work with from the high, from the low to the high. Or price could basically come back down here, right, into this overall area of demand, or this as a refined area of demand, right? So that there's an overall area of demand and a refined area of demand into this overall or refined area of demand, and then realign bullish and go bullish from there to clear out this high, right? So both of those are very good probabilities that could happen on EU at the moment, because at this point in time, you know, price is just in the middle of nowhere, right? So price is currently sitting at this imbalance here, right? There's just an imbalance here, so that's why I say price could basically just come down, fill this imbalance right here, and then realign bullish, right? So once we see a realignment towards the bullish side, that is when we can actually look to go bullish. But for now, you know, we still don't have anything that tells us that this price is ready to go bullish. So we're still in this mitigationary trend. I normally like to call that a reaccumulation schematic, right? So we're still in this reaccumulation schematic. Price could make a couple of breaks towards the downside, right? More breaks towards the downside before price could realign and take out the high. So I've just given you overall probabilities on what could happen on EU, but overall we are bullish in this price action. So all we need to see is just the realignment towards the bullish side, and then we can now start to look for bullish positions. However, if you do want to trade this, price is still in this internal market structure, right? So if we just look at this internal market structure, you can see that this internal market structure is pretty much bearish. And of course, if you're looking to trade this, you could follow a proper alignment of this bearish trend and work to trade with it, right? So we have a high, we have a low after this break of structure right here. So probably price could make its way back to this area of supply here, or the original zones up here, and then go bullish. That's scenario, sorry, go bearish. That's scenario number one. Or price could break bullish and realign with the overall 4-hour and daily chart, and then from there, that would look at, we'll be looking at a change of character in this particular time frame, right? This 15-minute time frame, that would be a change of character. And when we see that change of character to the top side, that's when we can now look for proper areas of demand to go bullish from, right? So it is what it is. So from here we can just go to gold, and it's same, it's basically the same scenario for both pairs right now. As you can see, I did draw up this area here. I believe it was a very good area of demand. It's down the daily. I think daily, or maybe 2-hour or 3-hour. Right. I had okay, either way, that's not a problem. So if we just go back to the FAR, right, so you can see that gold is also in a bullish trend, right? So ever since these breaks here, so we had this low, high, low, right, and then we had this change of character towards the top side. So price realigned. This is when price realigned with the exterior bullish market structure. So from there we had a high, a low, and then currently a high, right? So a high right here. So at this moment in time, we're at a range. We're in between a range from this high here to this low here, right? So this is the range that we're currently sitting on, and this right here, so between so this area right here, this area in between here, so this is the area that required mitigation for me. And as you can see, price comes in, dips into that area, and closes with a wick right now. However, I am using a special kind of indicator. That's why you can see on my chart there are red wicks and green wicks. So basically, so I'm just gonna give you a highlight, right? So basically, when price taps into my area of demand and then leaves a green wick like this, right, that means we're ready to go bullish. And if price taps into my area of supply, right, and leaves a red wick like this, that means we're ready to go bearish. But for further explanations on those, I bet we'll do it in an actual Zoom meeting where people can ask questions and get to learn from it a lot. But since this is just a breakdown video, then that's not very important. It's just for an insight. So particularly according to my chart, we are ready to go bullish on gold as per this candle close right here. So if I was a swing trader, then I was going to place my trade right at the close of this candle, which means the open of this next candle. My stop loss would be at the just below the wick, and of course I would look to target the high. But of course I'm not a day trader, so that will be like a 1 to 3.5 RR trade, which is pretty much dumb. It is what it is. But overall, I'm not a swing trader, right? So basically what I'll be looking at is this 15-minute chart, and I'll be very interested to see a realignment of this bearish trend, right? So we had this bearish trend for the mitigation purpose, right? So ever since these breaks, I believe these breaks here, so we had a low, high, right? Low, high, low, right? So at this moment in time, in the 15-minute chart, we are in the range between this high and this low. So what I'll be looking for is the run of this high right here, to cause the change of character and the realignment of this internal price action towards the exterior price action. That means the realignment of this mitigation area trend towards the bullish side, that would be aligned the same with the 4-hour trend, which is bullish. And after the realignment, then I would look for an area of demand and wait for that pullback, the entry, and of course I'd be looking to target this high that would be formed first, and then these highs next, right? So that's my overall anticipation on gold. And lastly, UJ, right? So I just don't want to make this very long, but if we just take an actual view on UJ, so we had this bearish trend going on UJ for quite a while, right? So we had I believe so. Okay, so there we are. So we had this pullback and then the continuation, but however, price at this moment in time, price had made this change. Now, of course, I wouldn't be very sure about this, but currently I'm having my eyes set on this area here right now, since we have these bullish breaks, right? So this bullish break, bullish break, bullish break, bullish break, right? So this is the low that's currently holding this high right here. So of course, I wouldn't be very sure about shorting this at this point here, right? I wouldn't be very sure about this. This is very unwise. I'll be looking to go short maybe at this levels all the way up here, but of course I would be looking to go bullish at these areas here, right? So if price gives me that retracement, I'll be very ready to go bullish there. But at these areas right here, then in case price decides to break, maybe do something like this and then leave us with a very good area to look at, then I'll be waiting to look at a very clear price action, right? I wouldn't be very hasty on UJ right now. So last week we didn't have very good movements on we didn't have very good setups, like clear 3-box setups on these pairs, on these USD pairs, but we did have them very, very beautifully on the JPY pairs. Right now, as you can see, we had very many and very good entry opportunities off of here. So I would be expecting vice versa for the coming weeks, particularly this week, right? So I'll be looking at very good opportunities on USD pairs and some very rough price action on JPY pairs. But for the actual setups and everything, I believe I will be sending each and every update in the Discord community. Of course, just make sure you stay tuned and etc. So for this video, let's just end up in there. I hope you actually did get a content or two in this video. And with that being said, guys, have a great weekend, and I wish you a very good and productive week.